Hi, I'm Aram Chaparyan, Torrance City Manager. I started in July of 2001 as an intern in the City Manager's office. And in 2020, when our former City Manager, Leroy Jackson, decided to retire after 54 years with the city, 37 of which as City Manager, City Council appointed me as City Manager. So I've been serving a little bit over 2 years as City Manager. I came here as an immigrant, as an 11-year-old from Armenia, at the time of Soviet Union. I didn't speak a word of English. I always have to reflect on my humble beginnings, which helps me maintain balance and stay focused and on track. And I think that sense of service was instilled in me because I've been given so many opportunities. When I came to Torrance, I didn't know one single person. I grew up in Pasadena. On my way home, I thought, there's no way I'm going to come here every day. And then they called me that night. And as an immigrant, when you're offered an opportunity, first thing I said, absolutely, I will take it. And that journey has been great for me, my growth and development. Started a family since then, and Torrance has been so generous to me, and I'm so appreciative of the opportunity that my former city manager, city council, and the community has afforded me. I'm indebted to Torrance, and that spirit drives me, and I try to instill that in every employee. I think the best part working for the city is knowing end of the day or end of the week that we put 150,000 people to bed in peace of mind, knowing that there's around-the-clock coverage of services by city employees. It's making sure our city family, our employees are recognized, they're given opportunities for growth, and again, always tie it back to our ability to serve the residents, continually improve the quality of life of those who work, live, play, and visit Torrance. I find balance by realizing my role as a father, a husband, as an employee. I don't like to call myself a boss, but as a partner to the team. My job is to coach and motivate and support. It's also to carve out the time so I could go to the zoo or take a break to the beach and be engaged in the life of my children. This job has afforded me the opportunity. My job allows me the flexibility, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. And I have a very supportive network in my family, my coworkers. I'm able to balance those needs. My most memorable moments, there's two categories: babies and crisis. I was in my first negotiation session over at the Cultural Arts Garden Rooms. My wife typically would call me, and I had a flip phone back then. She's a teacher after school, she always checked in with me. And we're in negotiations saying the ground rules for the 2007 TME AFSCME contract. My phone kept ringing and I ignored it because this was my first time I was assisting an outside attorney, a professional labor relations attorney. And then finally I looked down and he said, my water broke. And the gang just looked at me in a pause and said, you need to go home because you're going to be a father, because I didn't associate the two. It took me 2 hours to get home that day, but so that's one. The other experience is I saw a van pull over in front of City Hall, and within a few minutes people were just videotaping and there was commotion. Next thing you know, an ambulance showed up, and I was wondering what was going on. The lady ended up delivering a baby boy in front of the City Hall. I went out there, gave them my card. The father, they were on their way to the company of Mary, and a few months later I checked in on them, and baby Emilio is his name. The mother sent me a picture, and I offered to keep in touch. And then the crisis is again, I was an intern when we had the Tom Lee explosion. The whole neighborhood was impacted by a gas explosion. I was literally standing in front of a refinery on Del Amo when a car went through the barricade, nearly missing me because we had shut down the road. And then on March 1st, getting a text message saying, when I tried to log in and our email and web was down, followed by all the pandemic. But it's either been babies or crisis. And then one other memory that I'll be remiss if I don't mention is walking Leroy Jackson, our former city manager, to the back of the City Hall, literally waving goodbye, opening the door, and having him go home that day. That will forever live in my memory. As far as inspiration, literally outside of my door, Dorothy Ellis has been with the city for 40 years. And watching individuals who have been with the organization, the one common denominator that we share is our love of public service. It's helping people. When I go and speak at new employee orientation, I see the spark, the energy for folks who are taking jobs because they want stability, they want to serve, they're local Torrance or Greater South Bay individuals, and I try to have them remember that feeling to carry throughout their career. And it's end of the day, we make an impact in people's lives. And I want our community and our employees to know that I'm not alone. We're a team of over 2,000 employees actively engaged in making sure that Torrance is that premier city. When you ask residents why they live in Torrance, number one is public safety. It's our parks, it's our libraries, it's our after-school programs. It's the community, it's the diversity. Our organization reflects those values. It also reflects the true makeup of Torrance. And that's what makes me and others motivated to come to work every day, to make a difference. Torrance is unique because we have employees who are fundamentally committed to the role as public servants. When we look at from the outside and we see the clean streets and the beautiful medians, the trimmed trees, the ambulances or police officers, and the sense of security. And that's because we have our frontline employees. But it also takes our finance, our human resources, our public works. These are folks behind the scenes doing the work. When you ask me what I do and I reflect on making sure people sleep well at night, our mechanics servicing a police vehicle, they're responding to 911 calls. Our custodians ensuring our buildings and our facilities are maintained ensures that our employees are comfortable in providing the requisition processing or making sure that our purchasing has the materials so our fleet is on time or our bills are paid so we can continue to provide those services. HR making sure that we hire the employees to provide these essential services. So the unsung heroes are the individuals who day in and day out come in. Even though what may seem as routine transactional work to some, it's part of the bigger purpose in meeting the needs of the community. So for me, there's no hierarchy. We're all on the same team. We all have our respective roles. At the end of the day, each of us are connected. And our ability to engage and support one another, to make sure we provide a competitive wage, safe work environment, and upward mobility, that's the commitment that I make to the organization and the community, because without our employees, we are unable to be the premier city that we are. I want to take this opportunity to thank the City of Torrance for giving me 20 plus wonderful years as a public servant, really living my dream. I also want to thank our employees for embracing the vision of Mayor and Council and the community in ensuring we provide essential services for those who live, work, play, and visit Torrance. I am grateful for our wonderful community, and I'm especially grateful for our employees because without them we cannot thrive. Congratulations for all the honorees. If it's 5 years, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and maybe 50. Thank you all, and may you have a rewarding and healthy career for the remainder of your time with the city. Thank you.